Assalamu alaikum. My name is Zubair Hashmi and I'm your instructor on organizational psychology. We have covered so far 12 lectures related to organizational psychology. We have discovered in the last two lectures, actually in the last lecture, what is perception and how perception is influenced, determined by certain factors. आज हम उसी टॉपिक पे मज़ीद कुछ आपको बताएंगे और फिर इसका ताल्लुक दिखाएंगे ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी के साथ क्या है. Let us first review what we covered in lecture number 12. We talked about perception, and perception was defined as, do you recall what it was defined as? As sensation with meanings. Sensations are the sensory stimuli that everybody receives and the meanings that we individually attach to those stimuli that we receive. और हमने बताया था कि सेंसेशन तो एक सी है सबके लिए. इस वक्त जो तस्वीर आप मेरी देख रहे हैं वो दर्जनों सैकड़ों लोग एक सी तस्वीर देख रहे हैं, लेकिन उसको जो मीनिंग अटैच किए जा रहे हैं वो हर इंडिविजुअल से या ग्रुप से मुख्तलिफ हो सकते हैं. एंड दैट इज हाउ परसेप्शन गेट्स फॉर्म्ड, बाय रिसीविंग द सेंसेशंस एंड बाय अटैचिंग मीनिंग्स टू दोज सेंसेशंस. इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हमने देखा था कि परसेप्शन जो है वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में होती है. इट इज इन गेस्टाल्ट्स, इट इज इन पैटर्न्स. व्हाइल टॉकिंग अबाउट द थियरी ऑफ परसेप्शन, वी सॉ दैट परसेप्शन ऑलवेज टेक्स प्लेस इन गेस्टाल्ट्स, इन पैटर्न्स, इन कॉन्फ़िगरेशंस. और हमने इसके कुछ फैक्टर्स भी आपको बताए थे. कुछ याद हैं आपको? जी हाँ, कॉन्टिन्यूटी इज अ फैक्टर दैट हेल्प्स कॉन्फ़िगरेशन इन परसेप्शन. We also talked about similarity, proximity. याद आ रहे हैं आपको? Then we talked about figure and ground. These are some of the factors related to perceptual organization. We then talked about perceptual selection. Perceptual selection refers to how perception is a process which is selective in nature. There are certain things that the individual attends to that enter his perceptual field, and there are certain other stimuli or variables that he ignores and that those factors do not enter into his perceptual field. This was what was meant by perceptual selection. Perceptual selection then means that human beings are selective in perception. And there are two categories of factors that determine that process of selectivity. The first category that we call the category of objective factors, those factors which reside within the perceptual field that determine what is going to enter into our perceptual field and what is not going to enter into our perceptual field. Some of those factors, if you remember, were size and contrast and intensity and repetition. And then there are the subjective factors, those factors in perceptual selection that reside within the individual, called the subjective factors. And we talked about at least two of them, motivation and habit. If a person is motivated and if a person is habituated, then certain things he allows to enter his perceptual field because of motivation and habit, and certain other elements or variables he does not allow to enter into his perceptual field. And that is what is meant by perceptual selection. These are the two things that we talked about in the last lecture. Let us go forward and dwell a little bit more on perception. The first thing that I would like you to know about, apart from perceptual organization and perceptual selection, in the overall context of perception, is perceptual defense. इससे मुराद ये है कि स्टिमुलाई तो हर शख्स को एक से रिसीव हो रहे हैं, लेकिन उन स्टिमुलाई को जो वो मानी पहना रहा है, वो मानी पहनाने का अमल जो है वो इस बात से मुतय्यन हो रहा है कि उसका प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस क्या है, उसकी फिलॉसफी क्या है, उसके ख्यालात और तासुरात क्या हैं. इन अदर वर्ड्स, perception is being influenced by the process of meaning that the person attaches, and the meaning themselves are determined by a number of factors. And that is what we are going to analyze today in terms of perceptual defense. Perceptual defense refers to two things. Number one, denial. Denial means that a person has a certain perception, he is habituated to give meanings to stimuli in a certain manner, and if he receives stimuli or stimulation which is contrary to the existing cognitive perceptual structure, then he denies it. मिसाल के तौर पर अगर हम ये समझें कि तमाम लोग जो अरब के खित्तों में रहते हैं उनमें मनशियात का इस्तेमाल नहीं है, तो ये एक परसेप्चुअल डिनायल की मिसाल होगी, परसेप्चुअल डिफेंस की मिसाल होगी, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि आए दिन हमारे अखबार और रेडियो और टेलीविज़न हमें ये दिखाते हैं कि कैसे अरब ममालिक में मंशियात के सौदागरों को गर्दन ज़दनी के काबिल समझा गया और उनको कत्ल किया गया, क्योंकि वो मंशियात के, ड्रग्स के कारोबार में मुलव्विस थे. So the fact is that there are drug smugglers in certain Arab states. We are not talking about their nationalities or anything. I'm just giving you examples to explain what is denial. But if somebody thinks that all Arab countries are inhabited by people who are completely free of any criminal tendencies, that would be an example of denial, an example of perceptual defense. Perceptual defense means that we defend our perceptual cognitive structure, and if there is anything contrary to our existing perceptual structure, then we deny that. And that is what is meant by perceptual defense. अगर आप ये समझें कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आपका बॉस जो है वो कभी भी कोई बुरा काम नहीं कर सकता, तो दैट विल बी एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ डिनायल अंडर द मेन हेडिंग ऑफ परसेप्चुअल डिफेंस. वो इसलिए कि आखिर एक शख्स का बॉस भी तो इंसान है, और इंसान तो गलतियों का पुतला है, और अगर वो इंसान है, वो गलतियों का पुतला है, तो गलती तो करेगा. लेकिन अगर हम ये समझें कि कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बॉस, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल लीडर, ए मैनेजर, ए सुपरवाइजर, ए मेंबर ऑफ बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स इज अबव एंड बियॉन्ड committing all mistakes, that is an example of denial. And that is an example also of a broader operation of perception called perceptual defense. एक और element जो perceptual defense में है, that is the rigidity of thought or refusal to change one's perception. इसका हम डिटेल से भी जिक्र पढ़ेंगे आगे चल के, but for the time being, if somebody sticks to, if somebody adheres to his ideas, if somebody continues to perceive the way he is already habituated to perceive, that is an example of refusal to change or rigidity. That is an example of perceptual defense. अगर मिसाल के तौर पर आप ये देखें कि एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में उसका जो लीडर है, उसका जो मैनेजर है, लोग उसको पसंद करते हैं, लेकिन लोग ये भी देखते हैं, कुछ लोगों ने ये भी देखा कि वो किसी हद तक कुछ लोगों से रिश्वत भी लेता है. बट पीपल, दोज फॉलोअर्स, दोज अदर एम्प्लॉयज इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन refuse to consider that evidence as the man being bad or sinful. That is an example of refusal to change one's perception even when one has evidence to change the perception. And that is another example of perceptual defense. Perceptual defense means defending your already existing perceptual cognitive apparatus. जो भी आपके ख्यालात और तसव्वुरात हैं, अगर आप उन्हीं को वहीं पर ही रखें जैसे कि वो हैं, even when there is evidence to the contrary, that is an example of refusal to change or rigidity. इसी ज़िम्न में आपके साथ एक और भी बात कर लूं. आपने सुना होगा about the theory of cognitive dissonance. In the late 50s, early 60s, organizational psychologists discovered that if a person sees something that is contrary to his existing cognitive structure, that is contrary to his existing thought processes, he feels an uneasiness. That uneasiness they called cognitive dissonance. And then he is motivated to remove that uneasiness, that cognitive dissonance. The way that cognitive dissonance can be removed or lessened is to shun it, to not accept contrary evidence to the existing thoughts, to the existing cognitive structure. And this is what social psychologists, particularly Festinger, and this is what organizational psychologists discovered, that cognitive dissonance is caused when someone experiences a conflict in existing thoughts and evidence. इसकी मिसाल यूं भी ली जा सकती है कि एक बाप जो है वो अपने बच्चों से कहता है कि आपको हमेशा सच बोलना चाहिए, और बच्चे इस बात पे यकीन रखते हैं कि हाँ, उन्हें सच बोलना चाहिए. और इसी दौरान जब बाप अपने बच्चों को ये नसीहत कर रहा है कि उन्हें हमेशा सच बोलना चाहिए, घर में फ़ोन बजता है और वो एक बच्चा उठाता है और कहता है, अब्बू जी आपका फ़ोन है. अब्बू जी पूछते हैं किसका है, वो कहता है रशीद साहब का फ़ोन है. अब्बू जी कहते हैं रशीद साहब से कह दीजिए घर में नहीं है. क्या मैसेज मिला बच्चे को? एक तरफ तो बाप कह रहा है कि सच बोलना चाहिए, और दूसरी तरफ बाप वो बच्चा देख रहा है कि बाप खुद झूठ बोल रहा है. दिस सिचुएशन would create what organizational psychologists call cognitive dissonance in that child. Cognitive dissonance relates to conflict arising in your thoughts and conflict arising in your perceptual apparatus, and then a person is motivated to resolve that conflict. इसकी हम डिटेल से आइंदा आगे बात करेंगे, फिलहाल इसको इतना छोड़ते हैं. So this is what perceptual defense. Perceptual defense consists of denial, not accepting evidence or sensations which are contrary, and refusal to look at evidence. Let us take a look at another thing related to perception. And that is, as you can see on your TV screens, the social nature of perception. ये perception जो है भाई, ये आपके ख्याल में बनती कैसे है? हमने ये तो देख लिया कि उसके कुछ ऑर्गेनाइजिंग फैक्टर्स हैं, लेकिन इसकी फॉर्मेशन पे बहुत सी सोशल फैक्टर्स असरअंदाज होते हैं. मिसाल के तौर पर, अगर एक शख्स ये समझता है कि उसको दिन में काम करना चाहिए और रात में सोना चाहिए, तो ये उसने सोशली लर्न किया है. अगर एक शख्स ये समझता है कि बच्चों से शफकत से पेश आना चाहिए, तो ये भी सोशल लर्निंग का एक हिस्सा है. अगर ये एक शख्स समझता है कि फलां मुल्क के रहने वाले उसके दुश्मन हैं, तो ये भी सोशल लर्निंग है. अगर एक शख्स ये समझता है कि उसको अपने नेबर से, अपने हमसायों से शफकत से, मोहब्बत से पेश आना चाहिए, तो ये भी सोशल लर्निंग का हिस्सा है. हमारी परसेप्शन, हमारा इदराक जो है, वो सोशल फैक्टर्स से इन्फ्लुएंस होता है. एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज मेंट बाय सोशल नेचर ऑफ परसेप्शन. जो सेंसेशंस आप रिसीव कर रहे हैं और उन सेंसेशंस को जो इस वक्त आप मीनिंग दे रहे हैं, those meanings are determined by what people around you taught you. If a lecture is delivered by someone who is wearing, let us say, very flashy clothes, then that lecture would not be that effective, because students expect teachers to wear sober clothes. It is socially taught to them that teachers wear sober clothes. And if somebody is dressed flashily, that is not acceptable. That is a no-no. And that is what is meant by social nature of perception. That perception, the whole process is influenced by social factors. अब ये social factors क्या हैं, इनका भी एक analysis कर लेते हैं. Social factors relate to what the parents teach the children. जो वालिदैन बच्चों को बताते हैं, वही उनका बताना उनकी बच्चों की परसेप्शन पे असरअंदाज होता है. अगर वालिदैन ये कहते हैं कि असातिज़ा को, टीचर्स को इज्जत की निगाह से देखना चाहिए, तो वो बच्चे भी असातिज़ा और बुजुर्गों को इज्जत की निगाह से ही देखेंगे. बिकॉज this is what has been taught to them by parents. Therefore, anybody who is a teacher or anybody who is senior to them in years, the children would look up to them with respect, honor and dignity. And that is what is the role of parents in socially determining perception. Perception is socially also determined by the siblings. जो हमारे बहन भाई हैं, खास तौर पे जो हमसे बड़े बहन भाई हैं, वो जो अपने छोटे बहन भाइयों को बताते हैं, that becomes a guiding principle for the younger sibling to determine their perception. Then again, the peer group members, जिन दोस्तों के साथ बच्चे उठते बैठते हैं, खेलते हैं, वो भी हमारी और हमारे बच्चों की सोशल परसेप्शन को डिटरमिन करते हैं. जो पीयर ग्रुप के लोग जिस चीज को बुरा कहेंगे, एक बच्चा उसी चीज को बुरा कहेगा. जिस चीज को पीयर ग्रुप के लोग अच्छा कहेंगे, एक बच्चा उसे ही अच्छा कहेगा. एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज मेंट बाय द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ पीयर ग्रुप on perception of a person. And that is what is meant by social nature of perception. इसमें इसके साथ साथ मेंटोर्स का किरदार भी शामिल है। मेंटोर्स कौन होते हैं? हमने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया था, जिनको एक शख्स या एक बच्चा इज्जत की निगाह से देखे, जो उसके गाइड हों, वो भी उसकी सोशल नेचर ऑफ परसेप्शन को डिटरमिन करते हैं। जिस तरह से मेंटोर जो है वो कपड़े पहनेगा, बातचीत करेगा, जो उसके उठने बैठने का अंदाज होगा, जो उसके सोचने का अंदाज होगा, जो उसके बोलने चालने का अंदाज होगा, वही चीजें बच्चे और दूसरे भी अपनाएंगे और उन्हीं चीजों को वो अच्छा और बुरा समझेंगे जिन चीजों को उनका मेंटोर अच्छा या बुरा समझता है। Mentor, therefore, is another factor that enters and determines the social nature of perception. एक और सबसे अहम फैक्टर जो है, सबसे अहम जो फैक्टर है वो है मीडिया। The role of media has the most significant part to play in determining the social nature of perception. और मीडिया से क्या मुराद है? रेडियो, टेलीविजन, न्यूज़पेपर और वीडियोस, ये जितने भी चीजें हैं, ये हमारा मीडिया है। और मीडिया जो है वो हमारी परसेप्शन पे बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट अंदाज में असरअंदाज होता है। हमारे, अगर आप नोट करें, हमारे इश्यूज जो हैं कि कौन सा इशू नेशनल लेवल पे या प्रोविंशियल लेवल पे या लोकल लेवल पे या मोहल्ले की लेवल पे डिस्कस किया जाएगा, वो इशू भी मीडिया ही बनाता है। क्या चीज अच्छी और बुरी समझी जाएगी, वो भी मीडिया ही बना रहा है। अच्छाई क्या है और बुराई क्या है, इसकी भी बहुत हद तक हदबंदी मीडिया ही करता है। इसलिए मीडिया का हमारी परसेप्शन पर बहुत गहरा असर है। एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज मेंट बाय सोशल नेचर ऑफ परसेप्शन। These are all factors, these are all operating agents that determine, that influence our perception, which reside, and these elements and these factors and these agents reside in the society. And that is why we say that these are the factors or variables that determine the perception of a person, and that is why we say that perception is socially determined, and that is what is meant by social nature of perception. दो बातें खास तौर पे मैं इस ज़मीन में आपसे जरूर जिक्र करना चाहूंगा इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ सोशल नेचर ऑफ परसेप्शन, और उसमें पहली जो चीज है दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टीरियोटाइपिंग। स्टीरियोटाइपिंग मीन्स attaching negative judgments to sensations. हमने आपको बताया था that perception is sensation plus meaning. You receive sensations and then you attach meanings to those sensations. The sensation might be looking at a bird, or the sensation might be looking at a flag. You might look at a bird and attach the meaning, it's a nice bird. Fakhta hai, a symbol of peace and tranquility. And you may look at a flag and you say, the flag of a country which is our enemy. What have you done? You have stereotyped your perception. You have attached negative meaning to the flag, and that is an example of stereotyping, and that is determined by the social nature of perception. You have been taught to stereotype. You have been taught to attach negative meanings to the flag of a country. You have never had the experience of visiting the country. You have never had the experience of meeting somebody who belongs to that country. And yet, you consider that country and the people that live in that country to be negative, to be bad. That is an example of stereotyping. This stereotyping is determined by social factors. Your parents, not your parents, but somebody's parents, somebody's peer group members, somebody's mentors, somebody's instructors and teachers, and somebody's media that he was exposed to, painted those things in a negative manner. Therefore, the person is also looking at those things in a negative manner, in a stereotypical manner. Stereotypicality or stereotyping means attaching negative symbols. We do that all the time. All human beings do that. We do that in organizational psychology, in our organizations, in our social groups, a great deal. Stereotyping means negative prejudgment. Negative prejudgment is a part of social nature of perception. We have learned to stereotype. We have learned to exercise our thinking in a stereotypical manner. We prejudge certain ideas, objects, people, ideologies in a negative manner without regard to the positivity in them, because that is how we have learned to perceive them from the social influences that we were exposed to. Opposed to stereotyping, within the realm of social nature of perception, is halo affecting. जैसा कि आपकी स्क्रीन पे भी आ रहा है, HALO, halo affecting. Halo affecting is exactly opposite of stereotyping. When you attach positive meanings to sensation, that is an example of halo affecting. Halo affecting refers to judging people, ideologies, groups, individuals in a positive light, even when there is no evidence to judge them in positive light. We tend to halo affect all people who agree with our ideologies, who agree with the way we think, who agree with the way we feel. And we consider them to be good because we feel that they are like us. And that is an example of halo affecting. Do not confuse it with hello. It's not hello, it's halo. Halo affecting means attaching positive meanings to our sensations in the light of our previous experience, in the light of our social training. And that is the other element in the social nature of perception. Perception is socially determined. Perception is socially determined because parents, siblings, peer group, teachers, mentors, and the media play a most significant role in determining our perceptions. Typically, two things must be remembered in this regard. One is stereotyping, when we learn to attach negative labels to our perceptions because of social learning, and halo effecting, when we learn to regard positive meaning to our perceptions because of the social pressures or the social factors. इसका क्या ताल्लुक है ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी से? What do you think? Would you consider a female boss to be intelligent? Probably not, because that's stereotyping. You would stereotype a female to be not as intelligent and wise as a male in an organizational situation. That's an example of stereotyping. Would you consider a person who has a beard and who is your boss to be taking rishwat in the organization? Probably not, because you consider people with beard to be honest and pious people, and that is halo effecting, and that is socially learned. Considering female bosses to be less wise and less intelligent, and considering all bosses who have grown beards to be pious people is an example of stereotyping and halo effecting. And this is socially determined. Let us go forward of this. एक तीसरी चीज जो आपको परसेप्शन में बहुत अहम है, जिसका ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल साइकोलॉजी से बहुत गहरा ताल्लुक है, दैट इज subliminal nature of perception. Subliminal nature of perception से क्या मुराद है? That perception takes place even at the subliminal level. What do I mean by subliminal level? That perception continues even when the individual is not aware that he is perceiving something. ये बात अजीब भी है, हैरान कुन भी है और खतरनाक भी हो सकती है. इसमें थोड़ी सी बैकग्राउंड आपको बता दूं. आज से कुछ अरसा पहले, let us say about 20 to 15 to 20 years ago, some marketers and producers of certain soft drinks on the North American continent wanted to find out what would be a best way to sell their soft drinks. What they did was that they introduced a certain message in cinema halls. While the film was being shown, a soundtrack was superimposed, and that soundtrack softly said to the listener that the listener was thirsty, that the listener would like to quench his thirst by using a particular soft drink. They used this technology in a number of theaters across the United States. And what did they discover? They discovered that those theaters where this message was conveyed while the film was running had a higher sale volume of soft drinks as compared to those theaters where this message was not conveyed. People were asked in those theaters where this message was conveyed as to why did they go out of the film theater to buy soft drinks. They made excuses, but never could find out the exact reason as to why they were buying more soft drinks while watching the movie. Based upon these series of experiments, psychologists coined this concept of subliminal nature of perception, that human beings also learn at the subliminal level, that certain factors, certain stimuli enter into our perceptual field even when we are not aware that those variables, those sensations are entering into our perceptual field. And once those variables enter into the perceptual field, our perception is determined, and that determined perception may affect our behavior, it may affect our thinking, it may affect our complete way of believing. And that is what is meant by subliminal nature of perception. जब आप सड़क पे, गाड़ी में, बस में, रिक्शा में, टैक्सी में जा रहे हैं, तो आप इस चीज पे गौर भी नहीं कर रहे कि आप कौन कौन सा इश्तिहार पढ़ रहे हैं चलते हुए सड़क पर. और जब आप शॉपिंग के लिए जाते हैं तो आप जाके पहले दुकानदार से कहते हैं कि मुझे ब्रांड एक्स की प्रोडक्ट दे दीजिए, और वो दुकानदार कहता है कि ब्रांड एक्स क्यों? आप कहते हैं जी मैंने कभी इस्तेमाल नहीं की, लेकिन मुझे ब्रांड एक्स ही दे दीजिए. Why is that? Because while you are going on the roads, in your car, your taxi, your motorbike, your rickshaw, or whatever your savari bus you were taking, you were unconsciously or unknowingly looking at advertisements along the poles. And those advertisements said, brand X is a good brand. Brand X will make you happy. If you use brand X, you will become a good person. Brand X leads to a person becoming healthy, wealthy, and wise, without realizing that you have taken in that message, and that message has become a part of your repertoire and has entered your perceptual field. You are not aware of all these factors. You go into a shop and you ask for brand X because you have learned a certain message, because message has been put into your perceptual apparatus in the subliminal manner. And that is what is meant by subliminal nature of perception. We may not be aware of what we are perceiving. We may not be aware that we are stereotyping. We may not be aware that we are halo affecting. We stereotype certain countries. Whenever the name of those countries and the inhabitant of those countries are taken, we say they're all bad. We halo affect certain other countries and certain other groups. Whenever the name of those countries and those groups living in those countries are taken, we say they are all good. That is because we might have learned those stereotypical and those halo-affected messages in a subliminal manner. And that is what is meant by subliminal nature of perception. If somebody's father is a very strict disciplinarian, he would consider all people who are in an authoritative role to be authoritarian and strict, even when his boss in the organization is not an authoritarian person, even when his boss in the organization is not a strict person, he would consider that person to be strict because he has subliminally learned that all people in the authority roles, all people who are authority figures are strict people. And that is what is meant by subliminal nature of perception. In organizations and in organizational psychology, in industrial psychology, in organizational behavior, in marketing, in advertising, subliminal perceptual processes are frequently used. Organizations and people in organizations make use of the operations of subliminal perception and fix up contingencies in organizations which help to make people more loyal to the organization, which make people give more sacrifices for the organization, which make people believe more strongly in the organizational philosophy. बहुत सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ऐसी हैं जिनमें काम करने के इवज लोग अपना घर बार भूलने के लिए तैयार हैं, अपने बीवी बच्चे भूलने के लिए तैयार हैं, और ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ऐसी भी हैं जिनके लिए लोग जान देने को भी तैयार हैं. Because one factor of it may have been that they have been told at the subliminal level that it is to their advantage if they work and surrender themselves for the organizational goals rather than individual goals. Subliminal nature of perception is a very powerful tool. Ethical committees in psychology put their heads together, and it was decided that subliminal nature of perception would not be used for the detriment of the people. इसके इस्तेमाल पे एथिकल कमेटीज जो हैं उनका ये ख्याल है कि स्ट्रिक्ट विजिलेंस होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि ये एक तरह की हिप्नोटिक ट्रांस भी क्रिएट करती है और इसके ज़रिए से लोगों से नाजायज़ फ़ायदा भी उठाया जा सकता है. इसलिए सबलिमिनल परसेप्शन के इस्तेमाल पे बहुत कड़ी निगरानी की जाती है मॉडर्न कंट्रीज़ में, इंडस्ट्रियलाइज कंट्रीज़ में, डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज़ में. But effect remains that there is this perception which we have described to you as subliminal perception. Before we end today, let us take a look at what we have talked about in terms of perception today. We have talked about three things related to perception today. Number one, perceptual defense. Perceptual defense is when a person defends his cognitive perceptions or cognitive structure. जो एक दफा एक शख्स के ज़हन में फॉर्म कर गया है आइडिया, a person would like to stick to that idea. That is what is meant by perceptual defense. Perceptual defense means two things: that we deny evidence contrary to the already existing perceptual apparatus, and number two, we refuse to change our perception and our ideas. We remain fixated, we remain rigid to our ideas and to the way we think. In that context, I also touched upon the theory of cognitive dissonance. और वो theory भी क्या थी? That if a person has a certain cognition, a certain idea, and then he encounters an idea or evidence contrary to the existing idea, then this conflict in ideas, this contradiction in ideas creates an uneasiness in him. And he is then motivated to rid himself of that uneasiness. And the way he rids himself of that uneasinesses, denies the contrary evidence. And that is how perceptual defense comes into operation. And that is what perceptual defense is. The other thing that we talked about today in relation to perception was the social nature of perception. हमने आपको बताया था कि perception जो है ये खुद ब खुद नहीं बनती, बल्कि इसमें social factors involved हैं. Social factors क्या हैं? वालदैन, उनका कहना, वालदैन का ख्याल, वालदैन के तजुर्बात, ये तमाम उसका हिस्सा हैं. फिर हमारे सिबलिंग्स जो हैं, बहन भाई, कजन्स, हमारे यहाँ तो जॉइंट फैमिली सिस्टम है, इसलिए हमारे सिबलिंग्स में जो दूसरे बच्चे हैं घर में रहने वाले, हमें उनको भी शामिल समझना चाहिए. वेस्ट में जॉइंट फैमिली सिस्टम नहीं है, वहां पर फैमिली मीन्स ए मदर, ए फादर and the children of those two, mother and the father. That's the family. Whereas in our system, in our Pakistani contemporary family, we have the mother and the father, and usually the grandfather, that is the father's father, and usually the grandmother, that is the father's mother, and usually father's brothers, that are uncles, and also usually children of father's brothers. तो इसलिए हमारे यहाँ एक्सटेंडेड फैमिली का कॉन्सेप्ट है. इसीलिए हमारे यहाँ सिबलिंग्स जो हैं वो महज बहन भाई नहीं हैं, बल्कि कजन्स को भी हम सिबलिंग्स में शामिल करते हैं. एंड दैट इज अनदर एलिमेंट दैट एंटर्स इनटू सोशल नेचर ऑफ परसेप्शन, द रोल ऑफ सिबलिंग्स. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स द रोल ऑफ योर इंस्ट्रक्टर्स, योर टीचर्स, वो भी बहुत अहम है. जो आपको असातिज़ा, आपके बड़े बुजुर्ग जो आपको बता रहे हैं, आप उसी तरह से अपने ख्यालात को मोल्ड करेंगे, उसी तरह से आपकी परसेप्शन, इदराक जो है वो बनती चली जाएगी. इसके साथ साथ आपका जो आपके खेलने के बच्चे हैं, आप जिनके साथ आप खेलते हैं, या जिन लोगों से आप मिलते जुलते हैं, जो आपके कॉलीग्स हैं, जो आपके दोस्त हैं, वो आपका पीयर ग्रुप है, और वो भी आपकी परसेप्शन को डिटरमिन कर रहा है. और इसी तरह से इसमें सबसे अहम किरदार जो है, मैं समझता हूं, वो है मीडिया का. मीडिया जो है वो बहुत अहम रोल प्ले करता है इन डिटर्मिनिंग द सोशल नेचर ऑफ परसेप्शन. इसमें दो बातें हमने देखी थी, स्टीरियोटाइपिंग एंड हेलो इफेक्टिंग. स्टीरियोटाइपिंग इज व्हेन वी लर्न टू अटैच नेगेटिव मीनिंग्स टू आवर परसेप्शंस. वी लर्न फ्रॉम सोशल फैक्टर्स, फ्रॉम पीपल अराउंड अस. And halo affecting is when we learn to attach positive meanings to our perceptions. And how do we learn? From people around us. That is what is meant by halo affecting. और तीसरी चीज जो हमने perception से मुतल्लिक आज डिस्कस की है, that is the subliminal nature of perception. That we learn without knowing that we are learning. That perception gets formed without our being aware that certain elements are entering into our perceptual field. This is what we talked about today. इन तमाम चीजों का हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर पे क्या असर है, जो हमने इससे पिछले लेक्चर में पढ़ी हैं और जो आज पढ़ी हैं, इन तमाम चीजों को हम अगले लेक्चर में देखेंगे. Until that time, do look up the lectures on perception, and we will see the application of what we have learned in theory of perception, how that is related to organizational psychology. Until that time, Khuda Hafiz. God be with you.